It feels like there's depth to the restaurant. The part that I've created has really complemented the old building. Yeah, I think what has been put in here really complements that. And that I think that warmth and that depth will attract people to come here.
This is the 6th episode in our special series, The Long and Short of Opening a Restaurant. We're following the journey of renowned chef and restaurateur Martin Boetz. He's getting closer and closer to opening Shortgrain, an Asian eatery and food store in Brisbane. It's less than a week till Marty hosts friends in the restaurant for his birthday party. Will it be ready?
Today is the 22nd of August and I've got 5 days until my birthday and I'm having 40 people for lunch. So that's where I'm up to. And the builders are moving out. They're just taking all the stuff out of the restaurant today. They've basically finished and I'm just waiting for a bit more of most of my kitchen equipment, as in the hard cooking stuff, to still arrive. It's been delayed. But I've got a combi oven and a dishwasher and fridges. So probably have to do something in a mortar and pestle for my birthday on Sunday. But anyway, nearly everything's here, and I'm just doing sort of finalising stuff for the point of sale, and I've employed a restaurant manager and he's got an assistant, and I've got all the chefs. And this last week I'm just staff starting to trickle through, and I suppose the restaurant manager is getting reservations, sort of all that. We're talking about that and making sure the wine list is finalised, all the glassware, all of the crockery, cutlery and kitchen equipment has been delivered and it's sitting on a pallet, and the full clean of the restaurant is actually happening tomorrow morning. So we've got industrial cleaners coming in to get rid of all the dust and all the rest of the builder's rubbish, and so it'll be a very clean Shortgrain sort of this time tomorrow, and the banquette seating can go in, and then the table bases are here and the tabletops are arriving on Friday. And I'm just waiting for a confirmation of when the chairs are being delivered. So this week is sort of finishing off all of the outside, and then next week I'll need to get the kitchen sorted, and also wanting to start planning the menu, and some of the dishes have already been costed, and so we're just going to work out the best things to sort of put on for the opening menu. So I suppose I'm still in the headspace of the beautification of the outside, and then the kitchen. I'll start working on that next week. So I was just saying to a friend of mine who's come over from New Zealand to help give me moral support. I said, God, I've got so much going through my head, but I haven't even started to think about cooking yet. But I have hired a head chef, so he can take some of that load off me.
The builders are departing and the cleaners are about to descend. How close is Shortgrain to being ready for action?
I've got a list, and but I've actually a big list is in my head. And now that I suppose when a restaurant manager and a social media person and then a costings person and a bookkeeper has been employed, they've taken a lot of stuff that I was thinking about that I don't now need to think about anymore. For example, the point of sale, the rostering system, the Tanda system, and also the costing system that has been implemented. So all of the price lists from my suppliers has been entered into that. So we can sort of cost dishes now, which is really beneficial. And so just there's a lot of things still up in the air, but it's coming together, and I'm feeling really confident.
just as important as the physical space, a restaurant is absolutely reliant on its staff. How is Martin progressing in building a team?
Within that time, a restaurant manager has come along, and he's super qualified, and I've just been really grateful that he's wanted to work here. He's done work in Bangkok and used to work at the Metropolitan in Bangkok, where Nam was, where David Thompson had his restaurant. So he knows Thai food. So that's a big battle for me, on the floor, that somebody actually understands the food that I'm going to be preparing. I think the power of putting yourself on social media and actually saying it straight into camera and sort of so people know that you're actually who you are and what you're looking for is really powerful today. And I got so many views on that, and obviously, and a friend of mine saw it and then passed it on to the restaurant manager that I've employed, and it's just, it's power of social media. It's huge, and I think the whole TikTok sensation and people putting themselves out there and talking into camera is really important, because then you sort of get a grip or a grasp of what the personality of the person. And I also want people to, as we get closer to opening, there'll be, I suppose, more things going on to social media, but at the moment I'm sort of giving it a bit of a rest, because I've done snippets of the build, but now I sort of want to go to the end part where the restaurant is really looking like, or the eatery is looking like an eatery and the shop's looking like a shop. And I've actually got more of a vision now, because it's nearly finished, so I can really see what I was thinking and how that's translated into the actual look of and the feel of the space, and I feel very comfortable in it. And I suppose that's what's made it so great to see the finishing line, is that I'm actually feeling extremely comfortable within the space that I've created with the help of with other people who have been amazing.
As a self-funded restaurateur, Martin was keen to watch his money closely, knowing that costs can easily escalate. How close is he to staying on budget? I'm
a bit scared to look, but look, I'm still in the zone of being okay. I think I've gone I went a bit over budget, and then I came back down, and then I went over, and now I'm sort of staying in that level. I think I'm nearly finished paying out everything, but I have to say, probably about 50,000 over budget, maybe a bit more, and I've kept my running capital when I open at about 100 in the bank. So I've got money in the bank to get going, because I don't want to start with nothing. Obviously, you can't start with nothing in the bank and expect to make money straight away. So you need working capital, and I've started with my working capital to begin with. It's 100,000.
He's nearly there, and he's been there before. What tips and strategies can Martin Boetz pass on to others who are keen to open a restaurant?
Trust you really need to feel comfortable with the people that you've employed, and also if they're very enthusiastic, you need to let them run with it and listen to them, because I feel that the input at this point, especially when it's all new, is really important that you let them input something too. Even that if you disregard it, it's important to listen and let them do their job that you've employed them to do. And I've said this before, and I've made that mistake, micromanaging or overriding something and maybe embarrassing them or whatever. I let them do their job, and if I'm not feeling that confident, I'll let them know quietly. But I think I employ people this time for character and also and for knowledge, but I think character's really good because then at least you know that you can mould people into the way that you'd like things done. So it's that's something that I really want to pass on. I think it's just, you know, there's a lot of people out there that need work, and maybe they mightn't have the experience, but if you can feel that they've got character to give you and that they will project that to customers, then you can teach them the way that you do things. And yeah, it's about passing on proper hospitality ethics, I suppose, because a lot of people that I've met, you know, they can't even look you in the eye when they're talking to you, and I don't want that. I want people to be able to talk to people when they're coming in and look them in the eye and be confident in what they're selling. So that's what I'm looking for, and I think I found that. Well, I'm finding it.
Restaurants aren't just another business. They are emotional and personal. How is Marty feeling as he gets closer and closer to opening the doors?
I'm just trying to keep myself very even-keeled because I think there's an easy tipping point when it just gets a bit overwhelming, and that's when you really need those other people to support you, so you can just palm it off to them. Or not palm it off, but let them help you, because you just can't do it all, and there's a lot to do. From the point of sale system and just getting all, even the Sonos setting up. The electrician just did that for me, but he really likes this restaurant, and so he'd set it all up. He's played the music all afternoon, and it's just a bit of fun. And I think the builders that we've had here through the Lowry Group have been wonderful because it's just like a little family, and it's just been a really great process with them. And they said that they'd be finished today, and they're finished today. I'm thrilled. I'm honestly thrilled. And the owner of the building came through yesterday, and he's very happy with what we've done because it's a big corner of this building. He's really happy with the outcome.
With so many moving parts, people and processes, restaurants can never be totally controlled by one person. How does Marty maintain the balance between having the restaurant he wants and not being overwhelmed?
It feels like there's depth to the restaurant. So it's complement the new part of it, which is obviously the part that I've created, has really complemented the old building. So it's sitting really well within the old space, and the big windows and the industrial the industrial look of what was here that I had to work with. And I think what has been put in here really complements that, and that I think that warmth and that depth will attract people to come here. Few people that I have worked with in this within this time, two older people have said to me, just trust the process, it'll all work. And I think that might have just been a reminder of enjoy the process, because it is thinking back to opening Shortgrain in Sydney and then Shortgrain in Melbourne, it was a really nice process to get those things going and meeting all the new staff, and it's just like doing it again. And also, when I built the shed and finished building that kitchen a few years ago, that was a really good experience as well. I had really great builders and had a deadline, and they met that deadline, and I was really pleased with their work. And again, it was like a family that I created with those builders, and I cooked for them, and I was here every day. And I think people really are happy when the owner or that person that's paying for it is present, because there was a lot of little things like no PowerPoints on bench tops, as I said, and a few other bits and pieces in that time that we caught, and it would have been really hard to fix if no one had picked that up. So I think that was coming every day and just being present, I think, is really important. So I suppose that is another thing to do. I'm not being annoying. It's just more going in there and just looking around and saying, hey, going and buying everyone a coffee, or, and just being part of, their daily routine that, Marty's here and, we can ask him a question, and it's not I'm just part of it.
We are nearly there. It's been an absolute treat to watch from the inside as Martin Boetz builds Shortgrain. Illuminating, honest and practical. We can't wait to be there when the woks are hot and the doors are finally thrown open. This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinen@deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta @dirtylinen podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.